Good evening, everybody. It's Lesley here. How is everyone tonight? Happy Friday. Whoop, whoop, weekend is here. We've had to do some tinkering with the settings tonight. The word something so that Craig could, because we had a little bit of buffering last week, didn't we, Craig? So we tinkered it a little bit. And we're just keeping an eye on it because it's popping up with some messages here, so we're just going to give it a few minutes to see if it will sort itself out. Hey Lorraine, thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a good week. I saw the card that you made for a challenge using the stamp set that you won on the live stream. Loved it. It's cute. Awesome. Crafty Suze is here as well. Hey girl, how are you? And all the menagerie. Keeping an eye on this. You guys, how's the audio? Let me know. Hi Heather. Okay, so we're just getting into the start here and keeping an eye on all of our little bells and whistles, as it were. And just to mention that if you're watching this on the playback, my name is Lesley Oman from Hungry Heffy Crafts. And this is Come Craft With Me. Every Friday I have a live crafty stream. So if you're here expecting an edited video, I'm sorry, you're not gonna get that. We're gonna be crafting away in real time and interacting with everyone on the chat as well. And I have quite honestly no idea what I'm gonna make. No, well, actually, that's not entirely true because, where's my other? Here it is overhead. I was trying to think of what to do, and Piper suggested that I do a moon, and then of course she followed that up with, you could have someone like going to bed and then it's a slider card and then they like pull up the duvets, and wonderful ideas, that kid. And I was like, okay, let's I don't have all of those things, but let's see what we can do. So she wanted a moon so that it would light up, and I was thinking about how I could have a moon light up, and then I realized that I haven't actually used these two images from this set. I've used the dragons a little bit. This is the MFT Magical Dragons. And I haven't used the knight and then the little princess. And as I was pulling that out, I came across these other, well actually I thought for a second that the Sweet Stamp Shop might have had a palace in this stamp set, and it doesn't. But I thought, oh, I've got this, which might work to help me build my night sky. And then I've also pulled out the Unicorn and Rainbows stamp set because it has a little palace and it also has a moon, which would please Little Miss Pie. So that's what I am planning to at least start with tonight. And Craig is saying, let him know if there's any buffering, and also remind me about a timer. Lorraine is the best at that. She puts a timer on her phone, and every so often, yeah, I think she's so engrossed that we'll get like capital letters like timer right now. And I always have a little chuckle to myself. Ooh, you know what we haven't done, Craig? Put down our sticky mats. Two, please. Stop it from moving around when I maneuver. I told them that's it, you know. Yeah. Let's see. You make sure that this is somewhat straight, because otherwise Craig can't watch the stream. Isn't that right, Craig? There we go. Yeah, exactly. Maybe more appropriately that one. Thank you. Okay, so I'm also going to be using some new card tonight. Let me press the button, Lorraine, if you're starting the timer. So this is apparently Copic friendly cardstock. I normally use either Nina Solar White or Clairefontaine DCP paper. But I got this at a craft fair, and the stall said it's called Simply the Best Cardstock. And it's nice and thick. It's 300 GSM. And it says it's superb for pro markers and stamping, ideal for embossing and die cutting. So I like that it's actually really thick, and it is smooth like the DCP paper, and it's bright white like the DCP paper. And I think that whole ream was, I don't think it was any more than £10. Does it say the price on it? I don't think it was any more than £10 anyway, which is a bargain for that, to be honest. So I'm going to give it a go. And I cleared out one of my misties so that I can do some stamping tonight. My other two misties are over there with Heffy Doodle release on them, so you can see them. Not for now, anyway. Okay, so that is Mama Elephant, Unicorn and Rainbows. And we're also going to stamp MFT's Magical Dragons. And stamp the little knight. And also the lady, the princess. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to need a dragon or something to try and round off the design. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Put these to the side. Teaser. Yep. Little teasing never did anyone any harm. Okay. What did it do? Make that is over here. So I also think I'm going to do some ink blending, but using dye inks tonight rather than the usual distress inks that I tend to grab for. It's funny, you're talking about teasing, and I cleaned out my stamp chamois today, and you see here where you clean a stamp and it leaves a little impression. I had to fold it round to make sure that there wasn't any little telltale signs of our upcoming release. It's funny. Okay. Oh, in other news, exciting news for me anyway, is I was complaining of my Copic markers running dry. So I got some new Copics. Yay! So I went on to get E00, which is like a skin tone, which I use all the time, and it was totally dry. E21 was also dry because it's a sort of a slight mid-tone, a darker tone of that. YG11 also was running pretty low, and then C1 was running pretty low as well. And while I was at it, I decided that I would just buy 10 because that's the way my brain works. I was like, if I'm going to get 4, I might as well get 10. So why not get refills, asks Snow. So I got these for £3.25 each, £3.25 each, and free shipping. And the thing was that I was going to get refills, but I couldn't find them at a reasonable price, especially with the shipping as well, because it seemed to be like the refills were like £7 or something. So then that would build, is it buffering? It was just making it very, is my hair rubbing against the, yeah, sure. Sorry guys. Anyway, so I didn't want to spend an absolute bomb, and also I don't want to have to store refills. That's a stupid idea, but anyway, never mind. That's what I did. The ones that I've got have lasted me several years, so I'm fine if they last me another 2 years or something. 3 years. What are you doing?
I'm just checking.
Okay. So I've already added some of my swatches to these, and these ones, so these were the new ones. I don't even think they're all going to fit in here now. I might need to get rid of these intruders. And then these ones, E00. I'm just going to swap the lids. And C1. Look at the difference, can you see? Wrong way. E21. E21 new? Nope. I would just, so I could get, don't throw them away. People would buy them. I would just, so I could get refills for them. I won't throw them away. No, no, no. Because I might end up refilling them for sure. But, I think it was a very short-term consideration of I could spend 30 quid and get like 3 refills, or I could spend 30 quid and get the replacements that I need, 4 replacements that I need, and a bunch more new colors. I don't know where I'm going with that. Let me put it back. Okay, I'm going to move you guys over to close-up cam while I color this in. Joe says, where's the cheapest place for Copics? So, I got mine at Art Discount. artdiscount.co.uk, and to be honest, I just googled it. I googled it a couple of times and to see what I could find. And I couldn't really find anything much cheaper than what they had, so I went with that. Craig's now telling everyone that my hair was in a plait today. It was a side plait, and it was rubbing against my microphone. go for YR20 and maybe a little E11. He's going to be a bit darker skinned because in this area, because this is the only part of him that will get a tan. Of course, we need a gold crown. And I think some brown hair. I'm also really excited about this card because the book that I'm reading at the moment is lots to do with like the night, and there's a castle, and Snow's gonna know what I'm on about. I don't know if anybody else is, but this is going to be a knight and then a little princess. And there's going to be a starry sky. Gretchen Mama 7, wow, says, Lesley, is your hair long enough to braid? Yes, it is. It's down past my shoulders. Oh, I did get it cut not long ago, so it's much shorter than it was. And healthier now than it was. Says Snow. Got the dreams. You know it, girl. So, Snow, I haven't confessed this to you yet. I finished the book. Drink my tea. Hi, Alexandra. Cards. I mean, good afternoon. I think you let the inner card making excited person in you come out there. It is good evening for us. It's just gone past 9. Of course, I need I need wings for him, maybe. Not that he's that suited and booted in the book, but anyway, this is just going to be a big geek fest now. How did Piper like Wicked? She really enjoyed it. She claims that some bits were really scary, and I guess I'll give her that. There are bits where it's just a bit high drama, you know. But she really enjoyed it. She had a fantastic day. She was like totally on like excellent behavior as well, so she did great. Although, in saying that, I think she was glad to get back to school this week. Let's see. The one thing about knights is that they're kind of all in silver, so they're not the most colorful to color in. But hopefully with close-up cam here that you can have a better look. Should move that down a bit. You're out of screen. Sorry, I just noticed that. We'll have to talk about it. How have you not spammed me with the ending self-control? Yes, I finished it quite late and figured you'd be asleep, to be honest. I don't know what color to do his feather. Any ideas? I'll have a little hint of the yellow. Oh, hey Shiz! Good to see ya. Heather says it's 4:23 in Ohio. Cool. We really did have a wonderful time at London. I'm wondering what color to do the castle. Maybe a little hint of some color coming through. So that's V04 and V000 happening right now. And this is going to be just like in the distance, in the background type of thing. And a little of the like a teal color. There we go. Okay, let's move you over to overhead cam, and I'm going to ink up and plan some sort of a card around this. I've got my inks. Where's my maybe nighttime here. Oh, I didn't color in his feather. I'll need to do that. Okay, so I'm definitely going to do this like maybe a purple to pink, maybe a purple to blue, but purple is definitely going to be in there. I'm not sure how big I want the area to be, so let's grab some blending foams. I think purple. Let's see. So I am happy to report that my silicone mats underneath my cutting mat seem to work in regards to not moving around the place when I'm blending. So what I want to know, you guys, is have you ever made a card inspired by a book or a movie? because this is definitely, I think, inspired by my book of choice. And I saw a card that Maria, I don't think Maria is here tonight, I haven't seen her yet. Anyway, I saw a card that Maria made using the Lucky Friends, the leprechauns, and she turned him into, the little leprechaun, into P.T. Barnum from The Greatest Showman, and she did a fabulous job of it. It was amazing. Super exciting. Okay, we need a pink. Maybe this one. And this one is called Pinklicious. And it is a Alta New ink. My computer is whirring, so I'm kind of worried that you're going to get buffering. So you need to shout if you get anything like that. What a great idea. Is it on your website? Yeah, it's on Heffy Doodle's blog, I believe. I'm sure if you search for P.T. Barnum or Greatest Showman or something like that, it'll come up. It looks really cool, and she's made like a little thing from the hole, like a circus master. Okay, I think this should be enough, but I want to splatter. I'm going to actually move this over to close up because the lighting is a bit over here, so you can see the colors a bit more. Shez says that she saw the movie for the first time on Wednesday and loved it. I know, I loved it as well. I've got it pre-ordered on Amazon. And did I tell you that Craig got, what's it called? Star Wars? He got Star Wars. And as we were watching it, he waited so long to get it, bless him. And then whenever we were watching it, the sound was out of sync. And I felt so bad because he waited so long and he was so excited for it. Poor kid. And yeah, it was out of sync. So then I said to him that he definitely had to fix the sound before The Greatest Showman got here. But The Greatest Showman over here isn't going to be ready for forever and a day anyway. Okay, so we definitely need some stars in the sky. And that belongs to the back of you. So definitely some stars in the sky. We need mountains and we need these. So let me cut these out using the die. Oops. I don't have the dies for the other guys. Boo. But one of these days, I might even set up my scan and cut and then cut it. Ironically, I totally have room for it now. Like to set up and stay built up. Just haven't got that far yet. That sounds like my Craig says, Cheryl. He would order Star Wars and I would order The Greatest Showman. Yep. Pressing the button, Lorraine. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Trying to get the end of my tape. My masking tape, you know, the big roll that I had, finally ran out. Boo! I've ordered some more though. It's like you don't realize how much you love something until you don't have it anymore. You don't know what you've got till it's gone. Let's see. Good. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a keeper, because if I decide to do a light up thing, then I might need to stamp that onto the background. But I'll have it here just in case I decide to do it. I'm just going to quickly color his plume. I think I might do it like this pinky color, which doesn't seem very masculine, but if you knew this guy, you wouldn't, it wouldn't matter what he was wearing, to be honest, guys. And his shield, I think, is going to have some pinky purples. So still saying that I need mountains. Yes, I need mountains. Let me cut out this little lady. And I can tell that the card is much thicker than the one I'm used to, because like when I go around the corners it kind of crumples a little bit, which is unfortunate, but that's why a lot of people like to stamp on a thinner cardstock, so whenever you fussy cut it, it doesn't crinkle as much. There we go, my lady. Now, if I was being true to the book, this young gentleman, somewhat young gentleman, would be in a suit and not in armor. But you gotta use what you're given. Whew, it has been so hot here over the last few days. Like, everyone has been mowing their lawns, and there's been like the school being like, you need to make sure you've got sun hats and sun cream, etc. And everyone's been like digging out their flip-flops, even me, trying to get stuff. All right. How do I like the paper for coloring? Yeah, really good. I'm liking it a lot. Certainly no complaints. And it's fairly robust, I think. I mean, that's obviously saturated a bit where I put a lot of that light pink color. But yeah, blends really nicely. Happy days. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to have my card. Does it bleed? I mean, it bleeds through a little, but I think every card's going to do that. But it doesn't bleed, hasn't bled outside the lines or anything, which I'm really happy about. Okay, so my thought is that I was actually going to have some sort of a circle or something, like make this into a shape to go on here. Even maybe if it's just a rectangle, I'm not sure. What have I got? And I'll also grab my mountain dies. Which should be in here somewhere. Okay, so I've got these, which I could use to create a little scene, or where's these other ones? Like the rounded rectangles, which I thought might be fun. Which are inevitably going to be in the last pouch that I look for. Ooh, or I could use this. I kind of like that. I think I might go for that. Bunny W says, we had an ice storm. Wow, that's nuts. Okay, I'm just visualizing, guys. So I was thinking that we could have this and like the castle and the clouds maybe. And maybe some more clouds around the bottom here. And then my little guy and gal. Although we're not going to see a lot of the pink if I have it up that high. Alternatively, I forget about this and just have that in like a background. Have my mountain. Have some sort of a ground happening down here. Let's see. Sort of a grind happening. There's my lord and lady. And stars. And a moon. What do you think? There's a castle on a cloud. I like to go there myself. Oh, there is a castle on a cloud. That one? I'm going to go with my original idea because I want to do something different. So why not? This is going to go on here like this. And we're going to need some mountains for sure. Oh, my castle's going to be on this side, looks like. It might work over here. I think the castle would be on the tallest cloud, don't you? Let's get some grey cardstock, I think, for our mountains. Or we can have like a light grey or a dark grey. Go with this for now. You know me, Snow, I'm always up for a musical sing-along. So I think I want it to be like there. So I'll line my die up with the purple bit again so that it is going to cut exactly where I want it to cut as I run it through my machine. You can see absolutely zero of my pink now, but so be it. And I need some ground down here, and I think I'm going to go for the lighter grey rather than like a green because I want the illusion of it being at night time. So I'll use the end of my fishtail banner first of all to cut that. will have to then cut this section into a ground of sorts. Something like that, I reckon. Doesn't have to be perfect. Although I can just claim that it is perfect, and that's exactly what I intended it to be. Isn't that right? So no one has mentioned if they have ever made a card inspired by a book or film. Anyone? Let's stick this on. And this one as well. And if you have never made a card inspired by a book or a film, if you were so challenged to do so, which book or film would you choose? Would it be your favorite one or the most recent one? What do you reckon? Okay, I think this is going to be dry enough now that I can emboss on it. So let's grab a piece of copy paper. Oh, hi Nunjai, take a little break to watch, yay. I did a video on a the Heffy Doodle team page earlier, and it was like, I'm sneakily not working so that I can watch this. Cheeky cheeky. Okay, let's get this on here. So this, I'm not sure if it's called Starry Night Sky. I think that's like made to fit that. But essentially it is a Starry Night Sky. And it is by Sweet Stamp Shop. And this is where I really wish I had glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. I need to add that onto my list of purchases, things that need to be bought. Also what needs to be bought is more stamp pockets. Ooh, is anyone having buffering problems? Snow mentions that she's having some buffering at the moment. Anyone else? It's like a process of elimination. Is it just one person? Is it multiple people? So do I want silver stars or white stars is the next question. I think I might want silver. Silver or white snow? Press the button. There you go. button has been pressed. Silver or white? I think I'm gonna go for silver or white. Maybe white. I'll pop a bit more. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have splattered it, because now the embossing doesn't quite pop as much at the moment. We'll see. On verra. I can always come in and add some other silver bits if I wanted to. Okay guys, I'm going to mute you while I blast this with my heat gun. Be right back. All right, let's have a little close-up. What do you think? Kind of pretty. Okay. So my mountains are going to go here. And then we're going to have this up top. It's all gone on a piece of card. And we've got, I wonder, actually, I'm going to attempt something. I'm going to attempt to make him less dangerous. I'm not going to cut it off just yet. My thought was I could see if I could almost look like he's got his hand around her. Yeah, I'm going to disarm him. You don't need that anyway. Just put your arm around her. She's all like, oh, it's so pretty. Okay, where's my moon? Here's my moon. And the thought was that I would light them up. Oops. I think I need a few more clouds to match these. So let me go and grab that stamp set again, which has got coordinating cloud images I can stamp. So cute, says Snow. And Ronnie says, can you slip the moon behind the castle? Yeah, maybe. Let me see. If I want to light up the moon, though, I might need to be strategic about where it is placed. Maybe I should have done the stars coming down for Starfall. Do you think I should add them in silver with a little green glow? How fun would that be? I'm gonna pop you on that acrylic block. I might come back to you later. I'm all loving her sentiment. Gonna grab a C0. Just add a little bit of shading underneath curves of these clouds. I'm not going to do these ones until I place them because I might change my mind. Okay, looks like I have to get snippy with it. There we go. Dawn is here, popping on a bit late, looks magical. Super magical. Donna, it's inspired by a book that I'm reading. I am a nerd, it is true. I say a book I'm reading, a book that I've read, and now it's gone. Isn't that the worst? Like the worst and the best. When you read a book and then you get so addicted to it and you fall in love with all the characters and the story and the world, and then they go and finish the book and it feels like a tiny bit of your soul has died with the book, with the last page of the book. And if you don't feel like that, then you're reading the wrong kind of books. I think I'm gonna need to get my snippies out for this one. Okay, there we go. New book on the 1st of May, but only 279 pages. Well, you and I both know that that's never going to last me. Hey guys, do you remember last week I told you that I signed up to the gym? Guess how many times I've been to the gym this week? Don't guess, because I want to tell you. No, it was not once. It was not twice. It was 3 times. 3 times I went to the gym, and one morning I went swimming, which counts just as much. Yay me! Although I have to admit that the first... Maybe it's not sticking. Am I on the wrong side? Yep. The first day was probably a bit of a joke because I wasn't really pushing myself very hard at all. The last time I went to the gym was after my surgery, my back surgery. And I think I kind of convinced myself that, oh, I need to be gentle, I need to be careful, you know? When in actual fact, I can probably push myself a bit harder these days. I need to think of a sentiment, and the only thing that's going through my head right now is something about mate. Hello mate, or I love you mate, something like that. When I read a book I really love, I read the last few pages really, really slowly because I don't want it to. Yeah, I get that. I get it. I get it. Definitely. You see, I've been reading on my phone, which is fabulous indeed. But the problem with that, I find, is that there's like secret pages at the back. So sometimes you get an epilogue, and sometimes you get like acknowledgements and stuff, which is all wonderful. But you're reading it and you're like, oh my gosh, 93%. And then you realize actually that's like 99% by the time you take into account all that other stuff. And sometimes you're yeah, you're like, oh, it's finished. It's finished. Okay, so for silver, I'm using this, which is from a French company called Aladdin, and it is called e-zinc poudre à embosser. And I'm just giving that a good shake up before I sprinkle twinkle. No, this one didn't work very well. Ah, just didn't have the powder on it. Okay. Put that back in. Hey Bronwyn. Hi Lesley, my daughter just woke up at 7 AM in Australia. Saw your card, she says it's so beautiful. Well, hello Miss Malone. Lovely to have you here. This card is inspired by a book I love to read. Okay, I'm going to mute you guys for a second so I can blast this with my heat tool. So as you can see, this is one of the nice sheen. This one definitely didn't stamp quite as well. And the dashes kind of merge into lines. But that's okay. That is your tea. Okay. Bye, Snow. Take care. So the other thing I could do is actually move this down and no one would know and get more of that pink in there. Which might be nice. But it might mean that there's not enough room then for my for sentiment. But that's okay. As I was reminded last week, sentiments can go on the inside of cards as well. So we've got a knight, and his lady. I have to have the real thing, says Donna, and feel and smell are part of the experience. I get that. I prefer reading real pages too, but I love checking out library books on my Kindle because I don't have to worry about returning them late. That's a good idea. There's a library near us that I actually really enjoy going to, but the problem is I just find it really overwhelming where on earth to start with it. Okay, so in my book, there is a festival called Starfall, or an event, and it almost looks like fireworks in the sky, or like stars are falling, but it's actually not stars, and it's green. So I want to add a little green. I don't want to have any spoilers or anything. So I'm going to go and grab my soft pastels. So I can add a little green glow to a few of these areas. Just like here, these areas. So this is where I normally end up getting super covered. Let me grab a makeshift palette. Which is just a CD sleeve or a stamp sleeve with a piece of card on the inside. And I think I'll use some of this one. And I'll take my craft knife and shave off a little bit. And I'm also going to take white and do the same. Now, these are soft pastels, they will get on your fingers. It's a bit like eyeshadow or something. I'll pick it up with my thumb and rub it around. It's definitely popping on the areas where I splattered water, so I had the white come up underneath. I think I'll come back in with a bit more white. Not popping a lot because of the dye background, but a little bit. Let me wipe this off. I think what I'll do is finish that off with a gel pen. Hey Emer, what you up to? Hello briefly, she says. She must be on the fly. Going to give these stars a little pop with my white gel pen. And at least I've got a little bit of that green in it. And I went for mint green so that it would coordinate more with my castle or palace. All right. Can you show the stars close up? Sure can. There you go. So you can see that the green kind of stuck to these areas, these splotchy bits, which are whiter, that I had spritzed on my carb with water. So it's kind of taken to it because the surface is has a bit more tooth. You still get a nice green sort of halo around them. Can you see? Pretty, pretty. Okay, so do we or do we not want to add a light to the moon? Is the next question. Because if we do, we need to figure out how we're going to turn it on. Yes, says Amanda. Yes, we do. And to have a light in the moon. That can be stuck down at the very least. And I wanted a little one to go behind him. Press the button. Okay, pressing it. And we can also either have this here, so there's more room at the bottom, or we can extend it down to have more of the pink showing. Although when we have more of the pink, there's not as many stars, but I think that's okay because I can add some in with my gel pen. Put a dab of glue on his arm so I can tuck these two lovebirds together. I think they're going to go down here. So I could put the switch behind these guys and then have my light up here. That would work, I think. All right. Let's do it. So first things first, where am I going to have my moonlight? It's going to be here. And I'm going to punch a hole in it so that I know where that is. And this is the silent setter tool. That's about 15 years old. And you just have these magnetic circles and you put your elbow to this guy and give it a good old twist. But if you had a hole punch, like that's far enough in or close enough to the edge that a hole punch would be fine. But my hole punch is in beside my office equipment and not in my craft room. Oh, silly, I just got rid of that and I need it. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is figure out where that will be on my card, and also where my button will be. I'm going to draw a faint line. You can't even see, a faint line along here and here that I'll remove later. And you can just about see it, I think. Well, if I draw it further in but darker, should be able to see. And we need a small piece of copy paper like this. And you need to add a little fold to this so that you can house the battery. Have I run out? Yes, it would appear so. Maybe I'm just using the wrong one. Yeah. Okay, so you need a fold like this. Button. There you go, button done. Thank you. And I'll put this down here like this. And we're going to have a LED here like this, which is a triangle. And the pointy is the negative side, and the fat bit is the positive side. And your battery is going to go here. And one side needs to be connected to the underneath of the battery. The battery's going to be here. And then this side needs to be connected to the top of the battery here. When we press it together, it goes la-da and lights up with beautiful illumination. So let's grab some stuff. We're going to need some chibitronic lights. we're going to need some copper tape, and we will need a battery. This is going to be the bit where you're amazed at how quickly it can all come together. Let's take some of this tape, copper tape. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this over on close-up cam. And I'm going to try and do it sideways so that you guys can see it the right way up. It's sideways from me. Okay. So we need tape coming down. Battery, I think it is battery. Hold on. Battery. Okay, bear with me, guys. I'm not sure this new camera setup, if it's going to like me changing the battery. But we shall see. Come on, work. Yes. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Okay, so back to here. We need to move it down here, but we want to have a clean bend, as it were. So I'm going to fold it over and use my nail to create a crease, and then fold it on top of itself like that. Because what we don't want to do is stretch the copper tape, because it can be really fragile. So now we want to go this way. So what we do is we fold this in the opposite direction of where we want to go. Give it a nip. And then flatten it down. Just like that. And then for the other side, we're going to take more copper tape. I'm going to put it on this side. And the trickiest bit is to make sure that the gap between these two pieces of tape is not too far and not too wide. It needs to only be the same thickness as the two copper strips on our LED. So let me grab this LED. And I'll go for the yellow one because it's a moon. So it needs to be that width apart. Are you with me so far? So about that. So we'll go straight down, bend it the opposite direction of where you want it to go. Give it a nip with your finger or thumb. Bend it over. Give it a little bit of room on the hinge here. So you don't want it to be too tight that it breaks. And then fold it over on the back. And it needs to make sure that this doesn't go all the way down and touch this. That's where you're going to have problems if you do that. So that now we'll have a connection with the top of the battery and the bottom of the battery. And then we just put our LED in place like this. And we burnish it down. So if I now grab my battery, which is here. Like I said, this was the negative, this was the positive. Let me write that on because it says on it, there's a little tiny negative there. There's a little tiny positive there. So this needs to have the positive on my battery and this needs to have the negative. And luckily it's written on it, this is a positive here, this is a negative. Ta-da! Now, to make sure that this doesn't lie on all the time and just exhausts my battery, I'm going to add some skinny foam pads. These are 1 mil foam pads here. And I'll add a couple down the left and the right. So that my battery is actually hovering above it's going to be hovering, oh no, the wrong way around, silly thing, hovering above the copper tape like this. So this side I can just stick down right on top, but don't put tape onto the copper, you need the electricity to conduct. So now that is secure, and when you press down on it, you need your thumb, it lights up. Ooh, so cool. Okay, so I know sometimes when I make recorded and edited videos, it kind of goes a bit fast and it's hard to see exactly what's going on. But hopefully that will give you guys a sense for actually how easy it can be to create a light up card. It's not as complicated as one might think at times. Okay, I need to take a moment to do a little bit of clearing up on my desk because it's getting a little out of hand. Create some space. There we go. So now we have this light up. I need to remove this pencil line that I had here. And this is going to lie like this, but I want to make sure that my light is poking through the hole there. And what I'm actually going to do, I think, lined it up perfectly and then I lost it there, is I'm actually going to use my die to, and then slide this in like an inlay. I think that would work well. I'll need my little moon die and line that up so that the light is in the middle, and then I'll just run this through my machine. And because this is actually like quite thick there, I'm also going to need a little bit of dimension around this other sides. So I'm going to add a couple of foam pads around there, I guess. But I don't want it to be too high up because I want to be able to stick this down on top like this. In fact, I might actually just be able to use some Scotch tape to hold this in place. Let's try that. I don't think it will affect the light as much. It's better if you only have one layer through it. So it lights up. Doesn't quite diffuse the light, but it's still kind of cool. And obviously it'll be a bit more when it's dark. It'll light up a bit more. Okay, that means I can add some more depth to this. I'm going to just add a bit more sticky tape to stick my frame together. Don't need it falling apart, thank you very much. And then stick this around. Might actually illuminate a bit more if there's ooh, I just had an idea. Oh snap. Just had an idea. I think I might create like a little pouch for the light. I know that sounds weird, but if I use this die here, then I can cut out a section so that the light shines within it. Let me show you what I mean, because it's a bit hard to explain. So I'm using some foam, double-sided sticky foam, and I'm cutting out this shape. I'll keep that because I can use it from another thing. That roll is still giant. I know, it's amazing. Love it. So I'm going to stick this on like this. I'm going to need to trim this bad boy up here and down here. I'm going to stick this on like that. So the light is behind here, and the only place for it to go is within the walls of my moon. Not going to go anywhere else. So I'll not get lost light, if you know what I mean. Now it glows much better, I think. Don't you? Right, where am I missing? I need to put some more down here. I can use that little corner that came off. And I need some more. How are we doing? Somewhere right in the middle here. And I think the rest will probably do. You have to remember that there's a lump already on your card. Ooh, the backing of this does not want to come off. Oh dear. Oh dear, I think I'm just not going to bother taking that one off. Leave it as is. It's hidden anyway. Okay, this is where I need to line it up nicely. Awesome. I'm loving it. Stick these down. Oh yeah, I hadn't decided whether I wanted to move it down or not, but I guess that answers the question. And you're gonna go here, but I wanted to add a couple of little clouds around and about. Where's the bigger ones gone to? There's one. These mountains are so high, the clouds are around them. I'm not sure where I want this other one. I think I might just leave it off. Nobody said anything in a while about buffering, so I'm hoping that there's no issues right now. Nice. All right. So we need a little bit of Wink of Stella for my moon, of course. Give it a little bit of a glisten. And if you come back in over the top with glossy accents, you get a real nice finish to it as well. Hard to see. So I do have a little bit of room down here if I wanted to add a sentiment. What have we got in these stamp sets? You make my life magical. To a charming friend. Let me see what else. What did that other one say? The Sweet Stamp Shop. Did it say anything You're my shining star. Oh, I like that. And then we've got shine bright, which I actually quite like as well. You're my shining star. I don't want to do You're my shining star because it's a moon that lights up, but I do like shine bright. So we could do that. Press the button. Button pressed. Oh man, it is warm in here. It's 26 degrees. No wonder my computer is complaining a little. I'm just going to check. I know I've got a lawn fawn light up stumps. I love you to the stars and back. Reach for the stars. You're a star. I thank my lucky stars for you. I kind of like You're a star as well. But is that weird? Because it lights up a moon. What do you think, guys? Shine bright. You're a star. I thank my lucky stars for you. Would fit. It's a little bit on the low side. Might throw the balance off a bit. Don't know. What do you think? I've got Reach for the Stars. I like the way the Reach for the Stars nestles in there. This is the bit where I stump it all wrong for sure. Reach for the Stars. Actually, do you know what? I think I might do it on the inside because otherwise the problem being it's quite high here, and I don't think I'm going to get my doodah in quite in there. If I had planned it better, might be. Shine bright would be easier because I don't have to get it nestled in quite as much. Maybe shine bright because it's a bit more generic as well. We shall see. Okay, hold your breath, guys, because I'm going to be kind of scared to do this. I'm actually going to do a test run on a piece of paper because I have not stamped this before. I want to kind of get in the groove of how much pressure I need to put on it. Not a lot on the S. It kind of bleeds a bit. For some reason. I might actually be able to get away with a second generation stamp, which will tie in a lot more with the grey. I think I did it. I think I did it. Did. Make sure the stars. Need to put away this stray one before he gets lost. I do like the reach for the stars, but I wish I'd thought about it before. Never mind. We made it work. Oops. Let's take a close-up on close-up cam. So there we go. A card inspired by a book. And we've got, this is Rhys and this is Feyre, and this is on the event of Starfall. And they're looking up at the moon, which lights up. Nice and bright. And it says shine bright. So there's some gaps down here where the stamp didn't reach. So I'm going to take a white gel pen and just carry some of those star dots down, so it's not as obvious that my stamp only went halfway down. There we go. All right, guys, I'm sorry, but I am far too hot. I think I'm going to have to call it a night right now because I am dehydrating. I hope you enjoyed this fun card. Part of me kind of secretly wished that I hadn't finished the book so that I could go and read it again. read some more of it. But there you go. Might just have to read it again. Indigo thinks it's magical, says Bronwyn. That's your daughter. I'm glad that she likes it. And I'm glad that I had a chance to use those stamps that had not until tonight had the pleasure of fulfilling their destiny. It's always hard to know which side of this is printed. Aha, there we go. There we go. Lorraine says, I am too tired after chemo, so I'm glad I'm not going to miss anything night night. Yay, all good. I'm glad that you're not going to miss anything either. I read on your Facebook that you were having chemo today. I hope that it wasn't too draining. Reread it, Lesley. Reread it. Hold on. Indigo thinks it's magical. Reread what? Reread the book. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Yeah, I think I might. It's a trilogy. But that doesn't put me off because I've read the trilogy in about 2 weeks. So yeah, I might. Although the author has written another series of books. I think it's a series of 7 books. And I've read the first 2 or 3. And then I stopped reading it because one of my other group of books had a new one released. So I might go back to that series actually. There we go. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I have had an absolute blast. I'll keep my little moon here. I'll have to use him for something else. Maybe I'll cover him in glitter if I can get the top off. It was being a bit, oh, this one's coming off absolutely fine. I think I might cover him in glitter and have a nice starry moon for the next one. Alright guys, have a good evening, have a great weekend, and thank you once again for joining me. Bye! Sorry for stopping it early. But I'm about ready to faint. I need to go get a big glass of water. Goodbye! Bye 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 bye.